in the ADL framework, we move on to goal attainment. Every system must define its goals. So we're looking at its goal and deciding on the collective goals of the system. And there could be number of goals of the system, and we see that the system prioritizes these goals. So achieve its primary goals as well as then we see the secondary goals. So system to mobilize its resources and energies to attain, let's say, the goals. So we move on to the achievement of these goals. Our actions of the individuals or the organizations or the groups are goal directed. So the concern is not limited to the personal goals. This concern is also for the collective goals of the individuals or the goals of the, let's say, society as a whole. So we see that could be individual goals and collective goals. People have to look for both. So actual goal achievement represents a kind of intrinsically gratifying, let's say, achievement of the action. So it is intrinsically gratifying not only to the individual but to the group as well. So action follows the, let's say, preparatory adaptive activities such as attaining the resources from the environment, and then to make use of those resources for the achievement of these goals. We can use them as means for the achievement of those goals. So functional requirement for goal attainment will involve making decisions regarding which goals are to be achieved first and which one have to be postponed. So we see that there are prioritization of these goals. For social systems, this is essentially a political process, and whereby the political, let's say, organizations can have the policies with respect to the achievement of certain goals. Then we look at the integration. So a system must regulate the interrelationship of its component parts. If there is no integration, if there is no coordination, then the whole system cannot function properly. So it must manage the relationship amongst the other three functional imperatives, that is the A, G, and L. So system must have solidarity, cohesion, some kind of unity within itself. So we see that there have to be some kind of social and emotional, let's say, unity, some bonds, some collective kind of orientation. So it needs to coordinate, to adjust, and to regulate the relationship among various actors or units within the system. Without that, perhaps we don't expect that much cohesion, that much coordination, and that is necessary. This integration is necessary for having a smooth functioning of the system or having a social order for the achievement of the desired goals or the outcomes. And for this kind of process or purpose, we see the laws of the country, laws of the society, or the legal institutions, when we see the courts which are in operation to bring in back to the deviants, and it works as a means of social control, and it helps in the implementation of the norms as well as the formal rules and regulations. The fourth one, latency or the latent pattern maintenance tension management. So maintaining and reinforcing commitments to underlying cultural values and motivation to conform to those values. So it needs to provide some kind of mechanism for internal tension management. And that internal tension management might be overcome with the help of the institution of family, the institution of religion, the media, the education. All these institutions can help with respect to, let's say, managing the tension in the system. The concept of latency suggests a suspension of interaction, and that suspension of interaction might be needed when we see that some members of the system might get tired, overworked, fatigued, they are unable to work, then they need some kind of rest. So it demands the demands of other social systems, of subsystems in which they may be involved. So they are unable to do that, therefore they need some rest and recreation. So we have to see that this the latency system provides the mechanisms for restoring the motivational energy to renew the commitment so that the system continues. So for that purpose, we can see there are people going on holidays, or then certain national kind of holidays, then the celebration of national holidays, just like we have Pakistan Day or Republic Day, or there are many other days. Eid might be another occasion. So the holiday celebrations for collective rituals, these provide an outlet for, let's say, rest and recreation where people get tired. So these help reinforcing socio-emotional bonds with each other, shared moral values, and underlying motivational commitment for the working or for the functioning of the whole system.